Hello everyone, welcome to my latest video.
You're a freak with a microphone.
You will be able to see from the thumbnail that I am going to be doing a cheap versus expensive. We all know about the Arrma Mojave Grom, my absolute favourite RC of 2025. Brilliant, works everywhere, and as an absolute unit, can take a beating like nothing else. But it is quite expensive. So in this video, we're going to be looking at the MJX 14211, which is literally half the price of a Mojave Grom. And we're going to see if it is pretty much worth you spending your pennies on something like this, or save some pennies and get one of these. Now, you will see that, that's not why you save pennies. This was apparently a packing issue through AliExpress. So I don't even have a nice pretty box to show you. So what we'll do is we're just going to get touring about it and you'll get to see what's inside this box. I have been given assurances that this is too legit to quit, and it is a legit MJX, and it will have everything in it other than the posh little box that it should have came in. Far side, you're naffing. So let's have a wee look inside. Right team, this is what we're getting inside the box. So let's have a look at the controller. Just your standard MJX one really. You'll see there that you'll have all your normal buttons on it. Obviously got something for the lights here, but your steering jewellery, throttle jewellery, steering trim and throttle trim will be all on there. Now, when you look at the more expensive of the two, being the Arrma, you certainly don't have the same range of buttons that you do on their controller. However, the controller is a bit more robust. The trigger doesn't break when you try and put it away in a box. So that's your controller. Some spare wheels going on there. Some nice white ones. As you know, I'm a bit of a white wheel perv. We may pop those on later because I do like a white wheel. Same can't be said for the Arrma. And then we've got your USB charger, a couple of Allen keys, a little hex driver, and we've also got something in that bag, which is a couple of spare screws. You may have seen that I have lost a few wheels in the past, so I'll make sure that everything's tightened up before I take this out for a rip. So that's what you're getting in the box as well. Your normal kind of user manual. I am going to try and sort of set throttle endpoints on this video. I will also try and get the steering endpoints done as well. And it's now time to have a look at the car. So there we have your MJX body shell. We've got body pins and lanyards, which is good. I say it's a plus point for it. The clipless body on the Grom is a bit of a pain once it gets dirty. It can get caught in the workings of the clips itself, so it can be a bit of a pain in the backside to take off. This is obviously just your body posts and your clips, but I've got nice wee lanyards on there, which I'm sure will end up breaking. Ironically, it has got bugs on the side because that looks obviously quite insect-like to me and not very attractive. However, nice back end on it. All nice, good looking there. If I get the body sat correctly on here, I'll just have a wee look and see how... Oh, there's lots of stuff inside. So once that's sat, I'm not too sure if I'm keen on how that sort of looks with the wheels inside The wheel arches, yeah, I just don't think it's as good looking as the Grom. That's the long and the short of that one. Decent skid plates on the top, because this is probably going to end up on its roof at some point. But the plastic used in the shell, a little bit flimsy, but certainly not as high quality as the Arrma. We've got the same level of detail, we've got the little drivers in there too. So yeah, it's okay, but certainly I don't think it's as good looking as the Arrma, that's for sure. And as you can see, I'll probably show you at the front there, we have got some working lights on there. Just on the front, that is connected through your receiver, through this little cable, and I've taken that off. So we'll put that to one side. Looking underneath the rather unattractive front-ended body shell, it is a solid little unit. We're looking at a full metal chassis. We've got your plastic arms front and rear. Obviously both your suspension arms plastic. I don't know, the suspension feels okay. I'm not too sure it feels as sturdy as the Mojave Grom. Looking at the suspension anyway, we've got our fully metal shocks and springs. They're oil filled, so I'm not going to drop it, but it feels okay. Decent strength bumpers, quite flexible front and rear. Looking at, you've got your all metal drive shafts in here. Looks like we've got the metal cups too, and out on the wheel hexes as well, and your drive shafts and your hubs to the wheels. So that's all good. As you'll notice as well, I have switched out the black wheels for the white wheels. With the Arrma Mojave Grom, that would run a 4500 kV motor with a 25 amp ESC. Now that's a 2-in-1 ESC with a 22 tooth pinion. So you are going to get some decent top end speeds with the Mojave Grom. On the flip side of this, we've got the, pop that round for you, we've got your separate ESC here from your receiver, which is here. So that's a wee bonus point, because obviously with the Arrma Mojave Grom, if your receiver then goes, you're goosed for your ESC as well. So that can be a bit of a pain. So that's a wee plus point for this bad boy. Getting into the gubbins of it, it is a 45 amp ESC with a 4200 kV brushless motor. That's got a 14 tooth pinion in it. So we are going to get some pretty decent speeds off the line. However, I don't think it's going to be able to keep up with the Mojave Grom at top speeds. You will be able to run a 2S and 3S through this with a Dean's connector battery there. So that's pretty decent. I also like on this that we have got a separate gyro from that 2-in-1 ESC that you would get on the Arrma. So again, if anything goes wrong with these independently, at least you can replace them, whereas with the Arrma Mojave, it is going to be a bit of a nightmare trying to get all that done in a oneer. But yeah, it looks all pretty solid. One thing I will say is that once the shell's on, I may have to Velcro something, if I can, to either side here, because I think this is just going to be an absolute little dirt trap, and ideally we want to keep this dry, because as soon as that gets wet, that could be a bad idea. So I may have to look at some form of protective covering if I'm going to run this out in the wet, whereas with the Grom, you've got that clipless mount which kind of go here on the Grom. Check my video for that, and that seems to give you a good level of protection, and I know that everything inside that Grom is waterproof. But there we go, that is what you get for your dosh in the box. Let's try and get the throttle endpoints and the steering endpoints set. So off camera, I went through this. I have set the throttle endpoints on it. I've had a look at the gyro, all seems to be good. I will pop it on. Quite a noisy little fan, but we'll see what the wheel speed's like. That doesn't seem too shoddy. Throttle dual rate is right up there, so crank it down a wee bit. So that's nice and pedestrian. On 2S, crank that right up. Ooh, they got a little bit of spice tip.
Yeah, boy.
Which is a good thing. I'm having a look at the gyro. Now, I've got that gyro bang on 50 at the moment. I think I'll need to get out, have a wee rip with it, and see what's working. I may struggle to get a 3S battery in there that is the correct size, but we'll see what's what. And if we just need to run it on 2S, I can run the Mojave Grom on 2S. But yeah, it's time to go out and let's have a wee blast with this thing.
Okay. Show me.
That sucks, kid. Maybe you should head over to the HobbyKing website and you can get yourself a sick discount on some really sweet batteries using the link in my description. Yeah, I'd love some good quality but low price batteries. The prices are out of this. Whoa! Whoa! Hey guys! Just like the prices at the HobbyKing website, I'm out of this world. Using the link in the description on this video, you can get yourself 5% discount on your batteries. I'm still in space. Whoa! When are you coming back with my batteries?
Hi everyone, today we are doing a cheap versus expensive video. I've got the MJX and
I have got the Mojave Grom. What else are we going to do?
and we're gonna do them side by side, have a wee race test, do a couple of tests with them, see which one's better. Let's see if you could save your pennies and get a lot cheaper with this, and it's better than the more expensive one. Let's have a wee look, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, after a rather successful rip at the skate park, I'll sort of have a look and see what the results are for our little drag races, but I think it was pretty even Stevens. The Mojave Grom 2S battery is pretty much dead, even though Max was running it at 50 for a little while, and I've had this right up. It has still got plenty of juice left in it, so I think that's a little win for the MJX there. And I was a little bit sceptical of the gyro, but as you would have seen from that footage there, that gyro's working a treat. So yeah, big thumbs up for the Hypergo.
Yeah, I agree. I've got to say, that's probably one of the longest batteries on a 1/16th or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's a 1/16th, mate, yeah.
Yeah, and that is, I'd say, right now, I'd say that's worth the price, I'd say.
We've still got a little bit to go yet.
Yeah, but still.
So, yeah, we're going to now go for some 3S action on both the Grom and the MJX. Let's go. While we've got the body shells off, that was quite a muddy skate park, and we've power buttons had a wee move over. Thankfully the receiver, despite being dirty, is still good. There's no issues there. But look at the inside of the Mojave Grom. I would say this design is certainly trumping MJX's design, so that's a little point for
Mojave Grom.
Mojave Grom, yeah. That's my line.
Smile 3.
You just look like you got a whole studio on your head, it's cool.
Yeah. I'm a new director.
Right everyone, you thought it was over at 2S. No. We've got some 3S going on. We've now got Bam's Hatch that we're calling this, and we're now going to get a dog. Yeah. We're going to get Max to run the course, and you'll be able to see where we're going to race. So ready, steady, go.
Making me run this for no reason. Honestly guys, he's making me run this for no reason. And there you have it.
Right, so let's get our race on. Go.
Oh. Shit. Oh.
Ready?
3, 2, 1. 1, go! We've just finished the racing and now we've changed location to this amazing pump track, and we are now going to be jumping some tabletops, specifically being this one.
And there you have it. So now that we've had the fun, let's have a wee look at this and see what the damage is after a fun day out. Do some races and some jumps. The shell, pretty much got your usual scrapes and scratches. Wouldn't expect anything less, to be honest. This was run at a skate park, at a tarmac pump track, and also with like the tarmac road racing. So if you're going to be spilling, you are going to be getting your scratches on that body shell. Underneath there, I had this come off. I'll just need to pop that down with another double-sided sticky pad. Shock did come away from the mount here, but we pushed that back on. Yep, broken bumper, not ideal. We're having some issues sometimes with the steering over-rotating, and I was getting some crazy angles on one of the wheels. I was expecting something to be wrong here, however, not an issue. Still sounding all good, nice and clean, no issues with the fan. Not even any issues with the receiver. I did run this through very muddy puddles and a very muddy skate park, but it was absolutely fine. And just a little bit of cosmetic damage on the bottom, where we've got this taking a brunt, or the brunt of the damage at the skate park. I think, yeah, they're stiff as old boards, but I really don't think it was going to be hitting any wheelies anytime soon. I didn't really notice much difference between the 2S and the 3S, to be honest. Very, very controllable. Power came in nicely. But yeah, also, yeah, got some damages to my rims there, but basically cosmetic, it won't make any difference. But really well done, and very chuffed with the Hypergo. So there's the damage report. Not overly bad. As a whole, what a cracking little car for what you're paying for it. Obviously, it can't really compete with the top end speed of the Mojave Grom, but for what you're paying and how well this performed, I kind of thought the gyro was going to be a little bit iffy at the start, but as soon as we got it drifting away in the skate park, it was absolutely a wee dream to drive. If budget is a thing and you can't maybe get a brushless Grom or the brushed Grom, then this is by far an absolutely brilliant substitute, and I can't fault MJX for it, other than the looks at the front. Not my favourite, but yeah, possibly could be a wee bit more robust. But so speaking of damages, if you're needing any spare parts for your RC cars, because if you don't, you're not driving them hard enough, head over to rcspares.com, use Farside RC at the checkout, and you will get 10% off your order. An absolutely cracking pair of people that run the website, fellow Scots as well, so they can be trusted. But please head over there and tell them I sent you, and go wild. It has got an excellent array of brand new parts for your RC cars. Also, big shout out to HobbyKing as well. The 3S batteries that I used today were all through HobbyKing with the Carnegie branding. They were absolutely superb. The life on them is ridiculous. They were 30Cs. I can't remember the milliamps on them, but they were absolutely brilliant. And head over to that website as well, because you will be very, very surprised at the quality of those batteries. So with that in mind, chuck a subscribe. If you don't agree with anything I've said, if you have agreed, leave a comment, give it a wee like, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.